Welcome back, and now we want to do a building, and I want you to draw along with me and then draw a building of your own creation in 2-point perspective. So we're going to start, we want to put it down below the vanishing line, and remember your 2 points are at the end of your paper, and this represents a great big piece of paper, and this would be the paper you're drawing on. So here I'm going to put the side of my house. It's pretty down below, and I'm going to draw the top and the bottom of the building on the right to the vanishing point and on the left to the vanishing point. And then I'm going to cut it off parallel to this line here. And that would be the side of the house. And then this is a really simple house, and I'm going to cut it off right here. All right, and I want it to have a peak roof. And since this is already at an angle, there's a mathematical way that you can find an angle, and you do that by drawing an X through anything that you want to find where the center point is. And that's the very center of that building that way. I could do it this way as well. And I'm going to come straight up with a line here, deciding where I want the tip of the roof to be. And that's where I'm going to start my triangle. And so I will go here with a triangle and here. And then the roof of the house is going to go to your vanishing point over here on the right. And now you cut this off so that it's parallel to this line. So just follow an angle as close to parallel as you can so that it looks natural here on this side. So there's the basic box, and any doors and windows that you put on the sides then will go to that appropriate vanishing point. So if I put a door up and down here, then the top of that door is going to go to the vanishing point there. And that means I'm going to have to draw that just a little bit higher there. And then windows, I could do the same thing, that I draw up and down right there, probably off, and then I'm going to go to the vanishing point. And you can see that the windows would do the same thing. Now if I want to put a chimney on the house, I start with my up and down line and decide how tall I want it to be. And then the bottom of the chimney will go to the vanishing point. And the top of the chimney will go to the vanishing point. And this one is going to follow the angle of the roof up, because you don't see but this side coming up right like this. And then straight up from behind, with the top going to the vanishing point on the other side, and this one coming up like that. Alright, so now that I have the framework done, I'm going to zoom in a little bit so you can see it better, and trace that so it will look like I can erase all these extra lines, and you can see what the house actually looks like. So on a new layer with a different color, I'm going to make it a darker brown here, I'm going to come in, and we start by drawing the bottom of the house, going right up to that line. If you didn't want to erase and you wanted to put a piece of tracing paper over the top of your initial drawing, you could do the same thing. Now I don't have to draw any of the lines that I wanted to erase. I just have to draw what is going to be in my drawing, so I can have a nice clean house. In 2-point perspective. And let's see how much we've got there. I don't have this line coming up through here, So I'm going to come back and add that. I didn't do the chimney here. You can't really see the top of it because it's right on my horizon line. And I think I don't quite have that from the points, so I'm going to draw it over a little bit. And we'll look at it. There it is so far. I come in and put in my door. Follow those lines a little bit more carefully. Straight up and down. Follow my window a little bit more carefully. Alright, so if I wanted to add a second window, I've got the lines here. I can do another one. You can draw a window here and anything else you wanted to put in. Say you wanted to put in an extra bit of trim. You can add those in to your drawings as well. They will follow your vanishing point and the rules of two-point perspective. Alright, so what I haven't added in, and here is what it looks like without all the grid lines, is a fence or anything like that. So I can come in here and draw, say it's a corner house on a lot. It could have a fence going both directions. And here is the bottom of my fence going to my vanishing point. The top of my fence here going to the vanishing point. You could also put a street in going to the vanishing point on both sides. In front of that, sidewalks, anything that you want to do, so here is, say you want a sidewalk or a street, just follow that vanishing point here and put grass in between. Whatever you decide that you want to color, that do with color pencils, whatever you want, it's going to follow those vanishing points. Whoops, letting it go too soon. Alright, since the sidewalk is on the ground, this one right here might not look right, but your lines then are going to go to your opposite vanishing point here. So you could have cement lines coming across here like that, and that would be sidewalk lines. And this one may not be there like that. I might need to not put that in, but these would go to the opposite vanishing point too. And you could come and draw those in so it looks like you've got a sidewalk going off into space. If you're going to do a fence, then you also need to have a middle line for measuring, because we're going to use the X system to measure that. So, and I'm not sure which layer I'm drawing on, so I won't be able to probably turn it off. But that one goes to the middle, and you approximate where your first post is going to be. So say I want to put it there. That means you go from the top through the middle to the bottom, and there's where your next post would be. Top through the middle to the bottom, and there would be your next post. Top through the middle to the bottom, and you can do that both ways. Here's your first one. This is going to, and if you want these to look accurate, you have to measure this exactly in the middle and know how high it is. And then the same thing, you go top to the middle to the bottom, there with your next post, and it will get mathematically closer together as your fence post goes on. So then you can erase all of those things, trace them, add any details, do any shading. You can decide the sun coming from one direction and shade with your pencil and leave the other side white. Do everything you can to make it look believable, three-dimensional. And see, I don't quite have them all on the right layer. Somehow I clicked off But have fun, make this a really good house project.